the glorified caretaker. Beloveds, without God, nothing can exist. Without God, everything is just space without time and just void. Notice the universe around us. There is nothing but shapes and hues of light and dark color. There is not even sustainable oxygen in our outer atmosphere. The scientists and deep thinkers wonder if there is any other planet with life. They search for the smallest of living organisms. And yet they ignore the most precious of life on this planet, the unborn child. That is not all of them, of course, but that's many. They keep looking for signs of life elsewhere. What is this quest of life elsewhere? We've got plenty here. Well, first off, I believe that they need to understand what is the purpose of this planet and why are we here. Secondly, they need to see the cataclysmic delicacy in which this planet was created by God and for us. And it exists for us. And the babies are a gift for us. The scientists also see the rapid pace at which man is destroying planet Earth. And so typical of our generation, sadly to say, instead of fixing something, nowadays we just throw it out and buy another. But they are noticing that that isn't going to work for Earth. We can't throw out this planet. We are all there is. One sustainable place to live in all the universe. And for now, it's all we have. We have life here, and we must not throw it away. We have to fix it. We have to make it work. And what of this planet, dear ones? Why is it so different from the other shapes and sizes of our universe? Because it represents life itself, I believe. It represents a God, if you will, fully functional, sustaining all forms of life. If you leave this earth, there's no life out there. There's just death. For we were meant to live here, on this lovely, breathing, living planet Earth. From this position in the universe, we can perfectly see it all. Looking out from this lively planet, we are perfectly placed to see, as it were, through the eyes of God. And we can see also the other lifeless planets. And everybody's so sure there's more out there, that we're not just the only ones. Why is that they believe that? The only other things that exist in the world besides human beings are spirits. There are good and there are evil spirits. And that's all there is. And there's an afterlife and then there's a heaven. And that's where we will all go. But this is a place that we're to live now and love now and forgive now and do good now. When we look at our planet, how special it is, it becomes even more treasured to us. Even a more treasured place to live, making us realize how utterly blessed we are. And what does God do? Over and over and over, He creates life again and again in every plant, in every tree, in every flower, in every insect, in every animal, which we treasure and want to protect. That's right. Why would we not want the same for a human life, no matter what age? For there is no age with God, no sense of time in God's world. We are the timed creatures. We are the ones living by the clock. For we seem to be greedy for time, and greedy concerning age, with time, concerned with youth, like it's somehow more valuable. Why? Because it consumes more. Consumption seems to be the thing on this earth. Consume and consume and consume until nothing's left. It is the special people in the world, the ones in the middle, so to speak, that are caring for the young and the old, because the young and the old cannot care for themselves. These caretakers are mothers, they're fathers, but I want to focus in on the mother caretaker. And sometimes these mother caretakers get tired, and their clocks get worn out, and they cannot give anymore. And I understand that, dear ones. But to take the baby's life in your own hands is not right. That was not God's plan. From womb to tomb, God has a plan for us. And somehow, some way, we have interfered with that plan called life. First we interfered with it, the planet, by corrupting it, and now with the lives that God has created on the planet. As life begins in the mother's womb, everyone naturally assumes that it is the mother that made the life. I'm here to tell you that we are not and never have been the authors of life. We are only co-creators and glorified caretakers of that life within us. And that nature of that life within us carries the spark of the divine. These babies grow and come out of us and are not our own. For a time, notice the word time, which is only an earthbound word, a semantic that we use for terra firma, that makes us think that we own this life, but instead it is God's life, and we were just given the privilege to raise it and guide it safely to adulthood. And then as you fully notice, this craving for independence is getting more intense as the generations progress. These lives thrive on independence and self-reliance and are enthusiastic to search for their own origins, purposes, and reason for living. Just like the scientists. Thus, the hunt for its creator begins. It is God, my brothers and sisters, that has planted that seed in your mother's womb, using a man to do it, for he too was given the gift of co-creation. The DNA in the baby was created by God, for it says in Scripture that the Lord has knit us in our mother's wombs, and we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And what God has made, only God can take out of this world. Now, you must admit that we are powerless in this life to effect an ultimate kind of change that we want. We say things like, why would God allow Mother Nature to kill all those people in the recent earthquake? And we firmly believe that there are some things in this life beyond our grasp and understanding, beyond our knowing, beyond our comprehension. And birth is one of them, beloveds. God is the author of life and death. He is the first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And only God has the right to end a life. Do you now see that since God himself is the one that made this life, we must allow this life to come forth? Otherwise, we are preventing life itself the right to go forward. We prevent God to go forward with his plans by taking this life. We prevent God his ultimate wishes and his divine plan in this life. We are fighting against God himself. Why do we fear this little piece of tissue so much, dearly beloveds? Why are we so afraid? Because of the money we'll spend? Because of the time we'll lose? I'm only talking about 9 months out of your life. We know deep down this tissue will become a baby with a heart and a soul and a purpose on this earth, and a main purpose in the beginning. That we fear will be taken from us. But yet we will be on the path exactly when we give birth to this child. We see dollar signs and trouble. But God's ultimate purpose in sending this life was a gift. My grandmother used to say, when a baby comes, blessings come. And the cat will never sleep on the stove when a baby's in the house. This life inside a mother's womb is not her own. Contrary to what people shout in the streets, that this is my body and it's my life. That's their body and that's their life, but that's not their life inside of them. That is God's life inside of them. That tissue, that baby growing, is part of God himself. So I say, not so, not so, it is not your baby. And I cry right back. This baby is the future This baby is the hope. And every time a baby is born, God is shouting and crying out through the baby's voice, I created this child. This is my child. You are just glorified caretakers. And I call you mother. I shall call you mothers. For you are to care for this life until it is grown, and then pray for this life so that it may accomplish great things and simple things with greatness. For just as I have said, when on the earth you shall be married, yes, and the two shall become one, but when you get to heaven, you are no longer married. And when you die, you shall be no longer married and given in marriage in heaven. There is no more of that. But instead you shall become like the angels. Powerful stuff. In the same way, these children that you bore in your womb with my help, as I was with you every step of the way of the birth process, those same children shall return to me, and they are mine, and they too shall become like the angels. They shall not be angels, but be like them. We are all created beings, created by a Heavenly Father who knows us and loves us. He wants us to believe in life and not forsake the plan of any life. That's why fellowship, kindness, brotherly love, unity, faith, desire for the best for one another has been inborn in you. It is the essence of life, my beloveds. So, beloved, live and let live. And if you are afraid, if you have a life within you, and you are afraid to have this baby, be rest assured, do not be afraid. And as in the words of Isaiah 41:10, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, I am thy God. I will help thee, I will strengthen thee, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. God will take care of you and find a way for your future, your hope, and your promise, and your purpose in life. And since the baby is not yours, and you are afraid to deliver it, and either or you want to destroy or not let it live, or let yourself live, then I want to say relax and do not be afraid. But gently, my beloved, I challenge you to release with love this child's life into another's arms that is not afraid of it, not afraid of this tissue, this being, this created purpose for great things, this gift of music, science, mathematics, hope for the future, leadership, beauty, wisdom. CCLOA. That's an acronym that I want you to remember. It means carry the child and let others adopt. There are many waiting for this child. Please give this child a chance. Let it live. So after all is said and done, the only right and responsibility we have toward this life is preservation. We have no other rights. We have power, beloveds, and can use that power however we wish, and that, my friend, is the rub. I ask you, listen, is power more important than purpose? Is power more important than divine destiny? And is power more important than the gift of life? You think about it. Baby, baby, within me, can you hear me? Baby, baby, 'cause I love you, love you, love you, within me, within me, within me, a life within my life, oh, soul within my soul, a heart within my heart. What is this gift that God has given to me? What a great gift that God has given to me.
Bye. God bless you. And happy Mother's Day.